President Biden continues to pass the blame and pass the buck on inflation. Here's the president yesterday.
We got a long way to go because of inflation, because of I call it the Putin tax increase. Putin, because of gasoline and all that grain he's keeping from being able to get to the market. Now I'm fighting like hell to lower costs on things that you talk about around your kitchen table. Well, Republicans do nothing to obstruct our efforts to lower your gas taxes. I propose that. I've asked the Congress to eliminate the federal gas tax for the next, as long as this crisis goes on.
All right, so it is Republicans' fault. Let's talk to one of them. Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson is here, a member of the Judiciary and Armed Services Committees. Congressman, thanks very much for being here. Is it the Republicans' fault that we are looking at 40-year high inflation?
Joe Biden is completely outrageous. They're engaging in fantasy economics. The idea that he would blame Vladimir Putin or blame the Republicans or blame, as he did the last several days, people who run convenience stores and actually supply the gas to consumers. They're trying to shift the blame to everybody, Maria, but it's clearly his fault. It's his policies that have gotten us here. We had high inflation before Putin invaded Ukraine, and even his gas tax holiday idea has been panned by top Democrats in Congress, so it's absurd.
Yeah. No, I know we have an inflation timeline, and we know exactly when inflation started moving higher. It was at 1.4% when Joe Biden walked into the White House in January of 21, and now it's at 8.6%. But here's an even bigger story that I've got to get your take on from your standpoint on national security and your standpoint on foreign affairs. Joe Biden reportedly sent 5 million barrels of oil from American reserves. This is the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. He sent 5 million barrels of oil to Europe and to Asia, including China, where people here at home are suffering soaring gasoline prices. He's talking about this being his magic bullet to get gasoline prices down, unleashing all of this oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which President Trump filled up at $30 oil, apparently. And yet the oil went to Europe and Asia. So can you explain this?
No one can explain it. That headline is just should make every American irate. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve, of course, is there to protect our country in the event of an unforeseeable event like a terrorist attack, natural disaster, et cetera. It is not the personal energy slush fund of the president. And yet he's done it now. He's used it 3 times, drained it 3 times to try to get himself out of the crisis that his own policies have created. Now, that's creating a new danger for us because now the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is drained. It's at about 30% of where it needs to be. They're not filling it back up. So he's adding more peril to the American people and more pain at the pump. It's ridiculous.
Wow. That is a great point. More decisions that are affecting American families, one bad decision after the next, unfortunately. Congressman, thanks very much for weighing in this morning. We will keep following all of that. Mike Johnson joining us this morning on inflation in America and President Biden's policies. We'll be right back. Stay with us.